How to turn your anxiety into the world's most powerful secret weapon, absolute power. The Emperor's Paradox, how Theodore Roosevelt turned crippling anxiety into unstoppable presidential power. Did you know that the man who charged up San Juan Hill and built the Panama Canal was once so anxious he couldn't sleep for weeks at a time? Theodore Roosevelt didn't conquer anxiety, he weaponized it like a master strategist weaponizes intelligence. While millions run from mental discomfort, the true architects of power discovered a secret that society desperately hides. Anxiety isn't weakness, it's pure rocket fuel for domination. The 48th law of power teaches us, assume formlessness. But there's a darker version of this law that few understand. Roosevelt discovered that anxiety was his internal GPS, pointing exactly toward the territories of life he needed to conquer. Every sleepless night in the White House wasn't torture, it was military-grade mental conditioning. The secret lies in what neuroscientists call amygdala hijacking. When you feel anxiety, your primitive brain is screaming, danger, action required. Most people interpret this as a signal to retreat. Power masters interpret it as a signal to advance. Roosevelt transformed every anxiety attack into a strategic planning session that would reshape America. Think about it. While you're lying awake at a.m. with a racing mind, your brain is literally mapping every possible scenario, every risk, every opportunity. It's like having a military supercomputer working 24/7 exclusively for you. The difference between failure and absolute power lies in how you interpret this data. Roosevelt's protocol was simple, but devastatingly effective. When anxiety struck, he used it as an emotional metal detector. What exactly is bothering me? Which territory of my life needs more control? What strategic move is my subconscious mind demanding I make? He transformed insomnia into mental insurrection. Science backs this up. People with moderate anxiety levels perform 15% better on creativity and problem-solving tests. Your nervous system is literally in maximum alert mode, processing information at speeds that calm brains never reach. You don't have anxiety, you have a superpower you haven't learned to use. Roosevelt's most brutal realization came during his darkest period after his wife's death. Instead of letting grief destroy him, he used his anxiety as a compass pointing toward his greatest mission, becoming president. Every panic attack became intelligence gathering about what America needed from its leader. The physiology is fascinating. When anxiety hits, your brain releases norepinephrine, the same neurotransmitter that creates laser focus in Navy SEALs during combat. Roosevelt learned to surf this chemical wave instead of fighting it. He turned biological chaos into political precision. Here's the twist that separates amateurs from emperors. Roosevelt didn't try to eliminate anxiety. He cultivated it strategically. Before every major decision, he would intentionally put himself in situations that triggered his anxiety response, then use that heightened state to see solutions invisible to calm minds. Your power mission starts now. Grab a notebook and write mental warfare map on the cover. Every time anxiety strikes in the next 48 hours, write down exactly what your mind is trying to tell you. Don't fight it, interrogate it like a captured spy. If you're ready to transform your greatest weakness into your most lethal weapon, drop warfare in the comments and let's dominate this together. The gladiator's breath, how Michael Jordan used secret breathing techniques for total control under impossible pressure. Game 6, 1998 NBA Finals. 5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan had the ball with the championship on the line. What happened next wasn't just basketball, it was a masterclass in how the greatest competitors use physiological control to achieve the impossible. While millions watched Jordan sink the shot that sealed his legacy, they missed the real secret, his breathing. Jordan didn't succeed despite pressure, he succeeded because of it. He developed what we now call the Predator Protocol, a breathing technique that hacked his nervous system in real time, transforming panic into surgical precision. Every inhale was neural reprogramming, every exhale was a declaration of war against fear. The neurophysiology behind this is brutal and efficient. When you breathe uncontrollably during anxiety, you're literally sending abandoned ship signals to your prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for strategic decisions. Jordan did the opposite. He used breathing as a Trojan horse, infiltrating comm commands into a mind at war. The Predator protocol works like this. Slow inhale through the nose for 4 seconds, like you're gathering intelligence from the environment. Hold for 7 seconds, processing data like a computer. Exhale through mouth for 8 seconds, eliminating mental toxins. But here's the twist that separates amateurs from gladiators. During the hold, you visualize your heart beating in a war rhythm, pumping pure power through your veins. Jordan didn't try to eliminate adrenaline, he channeled it. Studies show that controlling breathing alone can reduce cortisol by 23% and increase testosterone by 19% in just 2 minutes. This isn't relaxation, it's performance optimization for total dominance. What makes this even more powerful is the timing. Jordan practiced this protocol not when he was calm, but when he was at his limit. He trained his nervous system to associate controlled breathing with imminent victory. Every breathing session was a declaration. "Command this biological machine." The science is staggering. Controlled breathing activates the vagus nerve, which literally sends all clear signals to your brain's fear centers. While other players had shaking hands and tunnel vision, Jordan had steady hands and panoramic awareness. His breathing was his direct line to absolute power. Jordan's secret went deeper than technique, it was psychological warfare. He would deliberately slow his breathing during opponents' free throws, creating an aura of supernatural calm that psychologically dominated entire teams. His controlled breathing became a weapon of mass intimidation. The most fascinating part: Jordan's breathing wasn't natural, it was engineered. He spent years conditioning his respiratory system like a Formula One driver conditions their reflexes. Every practice session included breathing drills that most athletes would consider insane. Now, it's your turn to pilot your own mental Ferrari. Set 3 alerts on your phone for today. When they go off, wherever you are, practice the Predator protocol. 4-7-8. Visualizing power coursing through your veins. If you can do this, comment Jordan and show you're ready to perform at the championship level of life. The Chaos Laboratory: How Oprah Winfrey Turned Devastating Failures into a Media Empire Worth $3 billion. September 1985, Oprah Winfrey's morning show was getting crushed in the ratings. Critics called her too emotional, too personal, too black for television. Network executives whispered about replacement options. What they didn't realize was they were witnessing the birth of the most strategically brilliant media mind in history. Oprah didn't just survive failure, she dissected it like a mad scientist and extracted from it the formula for absolute power. The 15th law of power teaches us, crush your enemy totally. Oprah took this to a level that bordered on mental alchemy. She transformed public humiliation into a private laboratory of domination. While most people see failure as a final verdict, Oprah saw it as raw material for reverse engineering success. Oprah's mental protocol was hauntingly simple. She treated every failure as a bug in the code of reality that needed to be identified and patched. Her rating disasters weren't tragedies, they were detailed reports on which vulnerabilities in her strategy needed to be fortified. She spent the next decade not lamenting, but fortifying. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to rewire itself. Research shows that people who embrace failures as data, not identity, develop 40% more neural connections in problem-solving areas. Oprah was literally evolving her brain through controlled chaos. Her methodology was ruthless. Every night, she wrote 3 questions in a journal. What exactly went wrong? Cold diagnosis. What pattern did I miss? Intelligence extraction. How does this make me more dangerous? Weaponizing the learning. She wasn't looking for blame, she was looking for upgrades. The transformation was systematic. Oprah studied every successful talk show host, not to copy them, but to identify what they were missing. She realized that while others entertained, she could transform. While others informed, she could heal. While others interviewed, she could reveal souls. Her greatest insight came from her deepest failure, a disastrous primetime variety show that was canceled after 1 season. Instead of hiding, Oprah performed forensic analysis on every segment. She discovered that audiences didn't want her to be someone else, they wanted her to be more herself than anyone had ever been on television. The result? When she pivoted to her authentic style, Oprah didn't just succeed, she created an entirely new category of media power. The Oprah Winfrey Show, Harpo Productions, OWN Network, everything was built on the ashes of her greatest humiliations. Oprah's secret weapon was reframing. Failure became feedback. Rejection became redirection. Humiliation became information. She discovered that reality was constantly sending data about how to become invincible. You just needed courage to download the file. The most chilling part: Oprah's competitors were studying her successes while she was studying her failures. They were learning the wrong lessons while she was extracting the right intelligence. Your reverse engineering mission starts now. Take your biggest failure from the last 12 months and treat it as a case study. Open a document and write intelligence report. Analyze coldly what went wrong, what pattern you missed, how this makes you stronger. If you're ready to transform scars into superpowers, comment Oprah and let's hack failure together. The Emperor's Code: How Warren Buffett Built a $120 billion empire Using Samurai Discipline and Strategic Vision. May 2008. While Wall Street titans were jumping from windows and hedge fund kings were declaring bankruptcy, and 78-year-old man from Omaha was calmly buying stocks like he was shopping for groceries on sale. Warren Buffett didn't just survive the greatest financial crisis since the Great Depression, he used it to add $37 billion to his empire while others lost everything. Buffett's genius wasn't in his stock picks, it was in his invisible discipline. For over 60 years, he followed a ritual he calls the Emperor Protocol. Every day at a.m., he dedicated 1 hour to what he considered the 3 pillars of total dominion: mental control, strategic influence, and laser focus on objectives. The first pillar was anxiety mastery. Buffett discovered that anxiety was like electricity, dangerous if misdirected, but capable of powering entire cities if channeled correctly. He used every moment of market nervousness as fuel for deeper analysis. His rule was simple: if my heart is racing, something important is happening. I'll use this energy to see what others are missing. The second pillar was the art of indirect influence. While other investors tried to predict markets, Buffett influenced them through patient positioning. He studied every annual report, every SEC filing, every corporate decision like a chess grandmaster studying opponent moves. His discipline was obsessive. He read 8 hours daily, analyzing mathematically which investments would compound power over decades. The third pillar was surgical focus on what actually mattered. In a world full of market noise and hot tips, Buffett developed what we can call eagle vision, the ability to instantly identify what would bring maximum results with minimum energy. His daily question was, of the 1,000 stocks I could buy today, which 3 will move the needle of wealth? The implementation was military precise. Every weekend, he planned the following week like a general planning a campaign. Monday for strategy, Tuesday for execution, Wednesday for adjustments, Thursday for acceleration, Friday for results, Saturday for analysis. This discipline transformed a paperboy into the most successful investor in history. Buffett's most devastating realization came during the 1987 market crash. While others panicked, he used anxiety as a market sentiment detector. Fear meant opportunities. Panic meant discounts. Crisis meant wealth transfer from the emotional to the discipline. The compound effect was someone who appeared folksy and simple, but was actually the product of decades of calculated self-domination. Buffett didn't inherit wealth, he constructed wealth through daily systems of market mastery. Every homespun quote was strategic. Every "aw, shucks" moment was tested. Every move was measured. His secret sauce wasn't picking winners, it was avoiding losers through emotional discipline. While others made decisions from fear or greed, Buffett made them from systematic analysis powered by controlled anxiety. Your personal empire starts with your Emperor Protocol. Choose 3 areas of your life that need total mastery. Create a morning ritual where you'll 1. Use anxiety as fuel for focus to plan how you'll influence your environment today. 3. Define your 3 maximum impact moves. If you're ready to build your kingdom with Emperor-level discipline, comment Emperor and let's dominate this together. Share this with someone who needs to discover their own power code.